Huh? What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 1989 movie, Look Who's Talking. So this movie is directed by Amy Heckerling and stars Kirstie Alley and John Travolta. And in this movie, Kirstie Alley's character, Molly, is having an affair with this man named Albert, who is married, and she ends up getting pregnant by him, and he keeps on promising her that he's going to leave his wife over and over again. And after they find out she's pregnant and stuff, he kind of bells on her, and he does end up leaving his wife after that. And but she's stuck alone and pregnant, and one day when she goes into labor, she meets James, a cab driver who takes her to the hospital and is there with her in the delivery room when the doctors mistake him for the baby's father. And as time goes on, they kind of create a friendship and everything, and he starts like babysitting her baby and helping out and stuff with little Mikey. And all along we can hear Mikey's thoughts and stuff. Like he doesn't speak. It's kind of like in Homeward Bound, where the dogs don't actually talk, but you can like hear their thoughts and their voices that way. I don't know, maybe this kind of inspired Homeward Bound in a way. The baby, as the movie progresses, starts getting attached to James and is kind of wanting him to be his daddy. He thinks that he's his daddy and everything, and George kind of acts like he's wanting to be back in the picture a little bit, but it's more that he just wants to use Molly for sex and stuff, and he wants to just have like a friends with benefits type of relationship. He didn't really want to be there for his son or anything like that. He didn't want to have a real relationship with her, and so she kind of gets screwed over by him again. But most of the second act of the movie is her friendship with James and the bond between the two of them and the baby. It's a fun little movie. This has always been one of my favorite movies that John Travolta was in, and it kind of somewhat saved his career. I mean, he wasn't doing very good in the 80s. His movies just were not doing very good at all, and this was the first movie that he had been in a long time that was a big hit. I think they said it was like his biggest hit since Grease and everything 11 years earlier, and it was the only really big doing 80s movie for John Travolta. Although Urban Cowboy did really good, or decent enough. I think it has a big following, and the movie Blowout is pretty good too. And that one has a cult following, but this one was like a big hit for him though, and it's a really, really great movie. The chemistry between him and Kirstie Alley are great, and she's kind of more the main character in this one than he is. Like, once he gets in there, he's in it throughout the whole movie, but like the first good 20 minutes of this movie, before she has the baby and stuff, it's mostly focused on her and a little bit on the baby too. And the baby is thoughts and stuff is voiced by Bruce Willis, and he's just absolutely perfect in the role. He does a really great job voicing this baby and making it believable. Like the way it's written and stuff, like it's like, okay, that makes sense what a baby might be thinking and stuff. Like the way it's written, it's really smartly written, and I just really enjoy this movie. And the supporting cast are all pretty good. Olympia Dukakis plays Molly's mom, and she's pretty good in here. She didn't have a huge role, but she's good in here. And George Siegel plays Albert, who is Mikey's biological father, and he's not a very likable character. He's kind of a sleazebag and everything, which he's not meant to be a likable character, but he does a decent job playing him, and all of the rest of the cast in here are pretty good too. And they had a thing at the end of it where after Molly and James had gotten together and stuff, they end up having a baby together, and like during the credits you see she gives birth to a baby girl who in this movie is voiced by Joan Rivers, which they retconned or kind of changed a little bit in the sequel. Instead she was voiced by Roseanne and everything. I'll talk about that one here before too long when I review it, but this is a really, really fun comedy movie, and it was one of the first movies of John Travolta's that I had seen when I was starting to get into him as an actor. It wasn't the very first, but it was one of the first ones. I just picked it up at a garage sale or a thrift store, I can't remember, and didn't know what to expect on it. I just got it because it had John Travolta in it, and I absolutely love this movie. I think it's just a blast and everything. And it takes a little bit to get going, but once it gets going, once him and Molly meet and everything, it picks up really fast and it goes by quickly. It's a really fun movie, and it's really funny. There are some things that haven't aged well, like the effects and stuff at the beginning when you see the sperm going through searching for the egg. It looks really cheesy and stuff. It doesn't really hold up, but it's also kind of amusing and stuff, and they're playing the Get Around from the Beach Boys, which is a really great song, so that's always a plus, and everything. And it was meant to be funny, and it is funny. And I will say though that like the scenes when Mikey is a fetus and they like show him in the womb and stuff, that also hasn't aged very well. The puppets and stuff don't look super great and everything, and they're also kind of creepy looking too, especially that first time when we see him starting to develop and everything, when she's having the morning sickness scene, and right before she finds out she's pregnant and stuff, and they like show him off and on as a fetus. It's kind of creepy, like he looks creepy and everything. But all in all, I think that Look Who's Talking is a really fun movie. It's got a little bit of good romance in it. It's also kind of a good fun family movie too, and it's just kind of heartwarming too. There are some things about it that I never really liked. Like I didn't really like that she was having an affair with a married man and stuff, and the way she's written, like she could have been a very unlikable character, but the way they write her, it works for the way it is. And Molly is a really likable character, but all of the cast are pretty good in here, and I think this is a pretty decent movie. So yeah, so I'd say I'd give Look Who's Talking an 8.5 out of 10. I really love this movie. It's always a lot of fun to rewatch, and I forgot how good it is because I hadn't seen it in a good 10 years or so. It's been a very long time since the last time I watched this movie. I forgot how much I love this one, and it's always been one of the ones I consider to be one of John Travolta's better movies, especially at the time that it came out and everything, for the time period in his career that it came out. But yeah, so anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Look Who's Talking, and hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.